I'm Sal Henley and we are back in the Slimming World kitchen. And guess what? The Taste the Sunshine cookbook is out from Slimming World and I'm going to cook up this amazing recipe. It's a chicken gyro salad with pitta or chicken gyro salad with pitta, depending on how you like to pronounce it. It's a great one to prepare ahead and for packed lunches or picnics. So there's a few stages, very quick though. We're going to do the marination of the chicken and I've got 8 skinless chicken thighs in here. And what's great about that is we've taken all the fat off the chicken itself and then I'm going to add it to 100 grams of fat-free natural Greek yogurt. But we're going to add a few sort of little spices and acidity to get that really pumped up, that flavour. So it's a teaspoon of lemon juice. So in that goes. And then the other acidic note is 2 teaspoons of red wine vinegar. Then we have 2 teaspoons of ground cumin. This is 4 garlic cloves. They've just been crushed up, so you can add that in. And this is a Greek recipe, and it wouldn't be Greek without dried oregano. So that's 1 teaspoon of dried oregano. This is one of my favourite dried herbs to have in your cupboard. It's so useful. 2 teaspoons of sweet paprika. That's generally the normal one that you'd find in a supermarket, not smoked paprika. Then it's half a teaspoon of salt and half a teaspoon of ground cinnamon. Then you give that all a stir. If you're trying to cut down on your meat or you're a vegetarian, what you could do is add some firm tofu in there instead, or even some cauliflower steaks. So you just take a whole cauliflower and cut the steaks through the stalk so it holds it together and coat this marinade over the top of them. I'm using 8 skinless chicken thighs with all the sort of fat removed, as I said, and I'm going to put those into there. And then the beauty of this is that we can just shake it. You can just put the lid on, make sure you clip it on though, and then you just give it a good shake, and there you go. It's all there, ready, marinating. So you need to keep that in the fridge for at least 4 hours, but ideally overnight. And here's one I made earlier. So this has been marinating for at least 24 hours. So now I'm just going to pop that on a foil-lined tray. So you unclip it, there you go, and the chicken's all beautiful and marinated in there. And that acid and that yogurt in there will actually soften and tenderize the meat. So this is going to be baked in the oven at 220 degrees, gas 7 or 200 degree fan oven. And then it's going to take sort of 25 to 30 minutes probably, but just keep checking it every so often and turning it as you want it. You're trying to get that sort of caramelized slightly at the edges. So let's put that into the preheated oven. Okay, so now what we want are all the little accompaniments that really make this dish sing. So we've got some red onions here. I've just finely chopped those. There's 2 small red onions. Try and get those as thin as possible because we're going to slightly pickle them and it really helps to speed that process up. If you've got mandolin, that's great to do it on that. What I'm going to do is add a tablespoon of red wine vinegar into there with a little bit of salt, not too much, and then give that a good stir. And that will start to pickle it. If you wanted to do it ahead of time, you could do. The longer you leave it, the better it is, really. And then what we're going to do is add some tomatoes. So you want to de-seed the tomatoes. So the best and easiest way is take a sharp knife and cut it into quarters. And then be careful with this process, but take your sharp knife and just run it along, and then that will cut out the seeds. Actually, I love that as a little drink. So you take those seeds and put those in a sieve and then push them through and you get like a little tomato consomme. It's yummy. Nice and very refreshing on a summer's day. So we'll take that. And then what you want to do is just turn them over and just cut into thin strips like so. Just go steady on that. And then you do that with 4 lovely ripe tomatoes. And then what you can do is add those to the slightly pickled red onion. Then add a teaspoon of sumac. This is a great spice. It's from the Middle East and it's got this lemony piquancy to it. If you're struggling to find it, you might want to use something like lemon zest or something like that. But try and get hold of it. It's really useful to sprinkle over salads, anything with chicken, tomatoes, or vegetables that you've roasted in the oven. Beautiful to finish it off with. And then add in your tomatoes. And then a nice grind of black pepper. And if you wanted to, you could add some herbs in there. The things that would work really well are chives or parsley. Tarragon would be delicious as well. Not traditionally Greek, but I like to fuse the recipes together. So there we go. Try and not chuck it over the board like I've done there. How pretty does that look? That's going to be delicious. So we'll put that to one side. And of course, you can't have a lovely chicken pitta without a great tzatziki. I mean, Greece is renowned for it. So this is half a cucumber that I've grated on a coarse grater after I've peeled it. And you'll find that it's really watery. So what you need to do is get a clean tea towel or a few pieces of kitchen towel laid up on top of each other, put it in the middle, and you give it a good squeeze and keep squeezing it until there's no water left in it. It really does make a difference to your tzatziki, otherwise you'll find that it loosens up over time. This is 200 grams of natural fat-free Greek yogurt. So I'm going to put that in there. And then a teaspoon of red wine vinegar with 2 garlic cloves that are crushed that go in. Again, is that little acidity and that background garlic note, which is delicious. And then the herb of choice we're going to use is dill. And this is a great herb to add in. But if you're struggling to find it, mint works really well. Even if you've got dried mint, I sometimes use that. So instead of doing 2 tablespoons of a fresh herb, you could do a tablespoon of, say, dried mint. Just when you put it in though, rub it between your fingers and it will disperse a lot more through the tzatziki. So just roughly chop your dill, put that in like so. And then we've got a lovely tzatziki. And this is great to have with any sort of summer meal, actually. I love this with fish, prawns. It's a really great thing if you're wanting a prawn cocktail or anything like that. It's just, look at it, yummy and fresh. Just make sure you season it up with black pepper and a tiny bit of salt. And there you go. So we've got all the accompaniments there. We just need to check on the chicken. Look how delicious that chicken is. So that's taken 25 minutes. It just depends on how big your chicken thighs are. Just put a skewer in there, make sure all the juices run clear and you know it's cooked through. So if you wanted to, you could grill that for a little 2 or 3 minutes to brown it if you wanted a little bit browner. And we're going to just assemble it. Now there's sort of 2 ways that you can assemble this if you wanted to. I'm going to get some little gem lettuce. So you just take the gem lettuce, and what I've done is I've sort of stacked the leaves together, and that just makes it easier for shredding. And then just get a sharp knife. You want to do this nearer the time so that the lettuce doesn't go brown. So I'm going to put that in the bowl to sort of make a salad. And then I'm going to cut a bit more up. And the same principle. Now, if you've got lots of herbs that you have opened up and you've left them in the packet and they seem to just die, what I would do is take those herbs out and just wrap them in damp kitchen towel and just roll them up and then leave them in your fridge like that. And you'll see that when I took that kitchen towel off, that's lovely and damp, and that's how I sort of keep all my salad lovely and fresh. So I prepared it, but I don't want to take it out the fridge yet. And that is the technique that I use. So I'm just going to leave a bit of that back for one of the pittas because I'm actually going to fill a pitta as well. So we'll probably need about that. So pittas, everyone says to me, oh, how do you get into a pitta? Sometimes I'm ripping it open and my knife goes through it and then it doesn't hold the filling. What you want to do is toast them. So you can either do that in a toaster or in the oven under the grill. And then you just take a sharp knife and you cut off about 1 millimetre to 2 millimetres in from the edge. And don't worry, you're not wasting that. That's cook's treats. And then what you should be able to do is just open it up like that. Look at that, lovely, steamy, hot pitta. Alternatively, you could just cut it across and then put your knife in there and have them as just little pockets like that. Or you can have them with a salad and have them as little croutons if you wanted to. So you can just chop it up into irregular pieces and then sprinkle them over the top if you want to have it more as a salad. I'm going to fill mine. So there's the pitta. I'm going to take some chicken. I'm going to take a couple of pieces of chicken and I'm just going to put them on top and just slice across. Look at that, lovely and juicy, and that's the yogurt. It's really tenderized the chicken itself. And then I'm going to put some lovely crunchy gem lettuce in there, and then our sumac onions and tomatoes, which are delicious. I like these, you know, when you're making the Slimming World tikka masala. I love this with that as well. There we go. And then you can put some chicken on top and really stuff that. Now these are great. You could take that to work if you wanted. I'd probably keep the pitta separate and then just fill it at work from the lunchbox. Delicious. And then you can put that onto there. And if you wanted a bit more salad, just put a little bit more accompaniments around it. And then the tzatziki, don't forget that tzatziki. I'm just going to finish off this salad as well. So we'll put some of this dotted over. This really is, Mamma Mia, sunshine in a bowl. Look at that, so pretty. And then we'll put a bit more chicken on there. And then we're going to top it with that tzatziki, with the pitta and with the salad. How delicious is that? Always think about how you present your food, because when it's easy on the eye, it's a lot more enjoyable to eat. So, tzatziki here. I might put a little bit of that just drizzling down. And then in the actual pitta itself. Ooh, yummy. And I like a little bit on the side so you can dip in it while you're eating it. I'm a bit of a messy eater. There we go. And let's finish it off with a few little bits of dill. How pretty is that? And don't forget your little croutons of your pitta here. You can have it two ways, the chicken gyro salad with pitta bread, or the chicken gyro salad with pitta bread. One's inside and one's an actual salad. Enjoy that. It's from the Taste the Sunshine cookbook from Slimming World.